Could have sworn it's not that I swore, it's that I in fact did see a tiny little fish. And it was right out there in front of those two cinder blocks. And I bet you that little fish went down that hole that goes to my pump. Yeah, so I've got a hole, goes underneath the ground. There's my finger, goes underneath the ground right there. I've got that there because the water level's pretty low right now. Kind of helps to elevate the water a bit. But anyway, got a pipe that goes underground here and goes right up over there. And there I've got a big concrete hole, and with my pump, which I have to put a shed over at some point. Never-ending line of projects. So just the other day, I put in this hose reel, and the trick to this hose reel, and again, I haven't had it unwound completely. I've had it unwound a little bit. For me, the trick to this on the installation is, the mounting bracket goes about, the bolts are about 4 inches spaced apart. There's two there, one back there, and one back over here as well. And so anyway, the trick to mounting this thing is because, underneath the ceiling there, I've got 2x4s. It's not even 2x6, it's just 2x4s. So I made these, I just cut some angle bar, drilled some holes in it, mounted the angle bar to the 2x4, so I'd have a place for the for the bolts, for the mount, for the hose. God, I can't talk this morning. So I figured that'll be really convenient. I used to have, this pump there, I just wound it up by hand, right? And God, what a pain in the ass that is. Excuse my French. That's not even French. Excuse my English. So this is a little garden patch here. And I planted some potatoes coming up here, and I kind of was following the way. I'm not a gardener, okay? I'm not much of anything, right? I try to weld, I try to build, I try to garden, and it's all fun, right? And anyway, I was sort of watching the Bayou Gardener, right, and his potato growing abilities, which, that's what I was trying to do. And he followed the method that he called plant a row, skip a row, right? That way you can sort of cultivate down the middle and keep the weeds out. Yeah, well, he sort of keeps the weeds out of the middle, and I don't know if he has the same problem I do, but I get these guys right here. They have these little thorns on them. They are a son of a gun. Let's see if I can find them. Here they are. These guys right here. These are the worst ever. They have these little thorns. Here's some that are just now coming out. And, and I had been tilling every time I got a whole bunch of them, and it's just not good for the dirt to continually till. You make like a powder out of the dirt, and then it hardens to like a cement, and the stuff continues to grow. So I went and picked up this, I don't know what you call it, this landscape rake for the back of my tractor. This thing works great. I gotta tell you, I'm sure that anybody who does any kind of gardening, especially if they're like a small farmer or something, they've got one of these, right? They must. Well, I just picked one up. And the thing I like about it is I use that tiller, right? Especially on a dry, hot day. I've got dust all around. I use that little thing, and it just sort of combs the weeds out, and I can pull them all and put them in a pile somewhere. And so I like that thing. I'm gonna continue to use that. Next time I use that, I'll see if I can get a shot or two of it. Now this little plasma gun is awesome, right? Because I'm out here. I'm about to cut this roof off right there, just kind of even it out. And well, I don't have 220 out here, so it comes with a 220 or a 120 or whatever, a 110 and a 220. So yeah, and you just hook this little doohickey. This fits into either one of them. Because out here I don't have the 220, so I just I plug it into this little guy here. Incidentally, I wired it up from, I've got a box over here on the side of the house, dug a trench about 8 inches deep across here. Comes all the way underneath and goes up this pole, comes over here. I have a light and an outlet. And now I'm taking advantage of the outlet. Anyway, if you're going to get a plasma thing, this is not the biggest one. They make them a lot bigger, but it sure is portable. And it comes with this nice box. It comes with a bunch of tips and stuff like that. So yeah, this is the Spectrum 375 Extreme. So it's done right by me. If you have to cut something like a 1/2 inch or something like that, I would go the next size bigger. I've done a 1/2 inch with it. It's just kind of hard. But most of what I do is, no more than 1/4. And, hardly even have to do much at that. So, if you're in the market for one, check out one of those. They're kind of expensive, but probably worth it. If you can find another one that's cheaper that has the same features, go for it. This feature, one of the things on this that I like is, this little dial here, you can really tell the sensitivity of it, how different it is. You basically dial in your amps. How many amps do you want to cut with? And so for this sheet metal here, I can pretty much just cut it all the way down, right? And it's got a little gauge over here that tells you, the white area here, you need 120 volts and 15 amps at least. For the gray area in the middle, you need 120 volts and 15 amps. And when you get way up here into the blue area, you better be using 240 and a 50 amp circuit. Okay, so, I'm going to be way down in here just to cut this sheet metal. Alright, so I've got all this B-decking here. I was going to use it over on the deck over there and put concrete there. I decided instead, obviously, to put a wood deck, redwood. So I had all this leftover B-decking, and I decided I built this little triangular gazebo-like thing here. I was planning on putting a different kind of a roof on it, but since I had all this bee decking, I just decided I would take it and put it up here, you know, it's just to give us a little shade in the hot summer. And so that's why I got out that Miller, was to just trim it up, 16 inches there, till you get it to be right there, and then it kind of goes in. So I need to put a little bit more right out there, just so I have an even 16 inches all the way along. Anyway, this whole thing is just sort of jerry-rigged, just kind of playing. Welded that up there. Welded all these little guys here. It's kind of hard to weld that stuff without burning through it. Just put it on the lowest setting. Put the welder on the lowest setting. Well, that's it. She's done. You can kind of see there where I had put in a piece to lengthen it. I mean, you can see it's a triangle, right? It goes out. It's sort of a gazebo-like thing that sits on. Look at all those weeds. Sits on. I got too many projects. 3 legs. And I did want to bring something that came out and angled down a little bit, just, you know, a couple of feet off the top there. Got a whole bunch of this extra B channel, or whatever you call that. Got a whole bunch of it over there too, you can see there. So maybe I'll use that.